Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Risha's Tarot. Um, so we have the Ace of Swords, which is pile number one. Oh my gosh, some girl tried to be funny in my reading before. She was like, that's not the five of, what did she say? That's not the five of cups, it's the five of clubs. If you didn't see, baby, it was nighttime. I'm tired. And then when I got to the past and the five of clubs, so calm down, I commented and then I actually deleted because I thought, why am I even entertaining you? Like, you're bored. Like, you're actually bored. But then, as I said, it goes back to the first message I was saying. Like, there's always someone that's going to do something weird when you're progressing in it. She obviously saw more people are watching this channel, so she thought she could, I don't know, there's some weird people in it. But whatever. Pile number one is the Ace of Swords, upright. Pile number two is the Jack of Swords. In tarot, that would be with this playing deck, I just can't. In tarot, this would be the Knight of Swords. And then we have the Six of Cups reversed. So 1, 2, 3. Don't wash my nails, okay? Because don't wash my nails, okay? I'm gonna get them done soon. Actually, I'm gonna paint them soon. But yeah. Cool. I'm going to go to pile number one. Let's do this. Okay, so I feel like, I didn't even say what this was. Oh, anyway, you can see in the title. So this is people's first impressions of you. And so how people first saw you, like what they assumed about you to how they view you now. So we have the Ace of Swords. So literally, guys, I feel like people's first impressions is they feel like you're very informative, you think a lot, you may be someone where if someone speaks and tries to have a conversation with you, you're just kind of like like you're absorbing all the information before you speak. So you're really thinking about what they're saying, you're really analysing what they're saying, and you're like, okay, cool. Then you'll say your piece. But whatever you've said is been very thought out, it's been planned, this is like a loads of information being said, and people are kind of like, okay, you're very calculated. So for a lot of you, people feel like you're very calculated, you know what to say, and for some people they kind of find that a bit weird, especially if they're not that okay. Let's just be real on this channel. People that are illiterate, they're not gonna like that you're this way, because first of all, they're not really gonna understand what you're saying, so that's gonna make them feel a bit insecure. There's that. Secondly, some people kind of feel like, oh my gosh, okay, this is someone that has a lot of, information to give. This is someone that's very informative. This is someone, that I can get information from. Some people might think, so obviously there's a few of you that are quite reserved and then you wait to say certain things, but then some of you might be a thing where you're kind of like a chatterbox. So you might like spill the beans about certain things and people are like, okay, information, you know what I mean? And it may not necessarily be spinning the beans about other people's business, but just like about stuff in general. Some people may feel like you say certain things that you didn't really need to tell them as well. And then certain people think these are for the bad mind people out there, because you've got bad mind people, that you've told them information that you should have kept to yourself, because now they're going to use that information to do better, but to like overpower you in something. I don't know. For example, if you was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna open a spa, and then someone's like, okay, so like, how do you do that? And you're like, oh well, I do this, this, and this. They feel like they're gonna take all that information and be like, you're an idiot. You shouldn't have told me that, because now I'm gonna open my spa. And I'm going to do it 10 times. I'm going to use the information you just told me. Then I'm going to find more information on how to make it better than yours. Because I feel like there's a lot of like competitive energy here, pile number one, because like you're just like full of information. So that's for those of you that kind of discuss your plans to people, because there's always like this person trying to like one up you. And then for those of you, it's kind of like, so that's some of you that are the chatterboxes. And then those of you that are kind of reserved, it's kind of like when you say stuff, people think that you strategized what you said too much. Like, you thought about it to the point where people are like, is it safe to even speak with you? Because you really thought out what you said. There was no authenticity. It's like, why did you say that in particular? What was you planning, to do with what you said? Like, they think that like you're playing mind games when you say certain things. So they're just kind of like, you hesitated too long. I don't know about that. That's a bit suspicious. So some people kind of view it like that. And then those of you where you know you're surrounded by people, sorry, there's a lot of energy going on. Those of you that are surrounded by people that are quite, you know, calm, and you know they're not looking to do something weird, they just kind of feel like, oh my gosh, you're very intelligent, you know, a lot of information, that's so interesting, you know. So you're quite an interesting person to be around. So people kind of feel like you don't mince your words. So this is people's first impression. So when you're speaking, it's very meh. This, and this. Yes. No. It's very... And then people kind of like, okay, like you could you know, you could sugarcoat your words a bit, you know. So some people might feel like you're a bit blunt, and they don't know how they feel. Some people kind of like, okay, I like that. Like, that's straight to the point. I can deal with this person. And some people kind of like, you know, you could have said that in a nicer way. You don't have to be so mean, you know. Like, I don't know where you think that's going to get you. But being mean is not it, okay? So, you know, depends. You have the really sensitive people that don't like that, and you have the people that like straightforward kind of behaviour, you know? So, yeah. See if I see any information. Okay. That's the small percentage of you. Some of you are good at archery. Don't know what that has to do with anything, but I don't know. I feel like some of you may be quite athletic. So people assume that you're very good at sports, or, you know. So they see you, yeah, you're just really good at sports for some of you. Like, people just assume, oh, you really... Some of you may have an athletic type of build, and they're like, oh, yeah, that person, they must be good at sports. Like, you know, it's a particular type of sport. But yeah, there's that. Then we have the Tower and Le skill reverse. So Tower, Le skill reverse, right? So this is how these are still people's first impressions of you. I was just going by the first card at first. So we have the Tower reverse. Literally, people feel like some people have the impression that you don't like reckless people. So people that don't think before they do stuff. Because the Tower kind of represents Scorpio and Aries. So some of you, there may be a rumor going around that you don't like a particular Aries or Scorpio person, or someone that has, you know, majority of those signs in their birth chart. Like, there's like a Scorpio or Aries that you're just like, I don't really know about you. I say that because the card's reversed, so there's that. And there's but then if it's not those particular signs, then it's the behavior of those signs. And this card kind of represents Mars. So people that just do, and they don't really, and because it's reversed, is like they don't really care about the consequences of their behavior. Is that you guys might not be able to tolerate people that are just reckless. Like, they don't think before they do, they don't care who they hurt. Like, because this is literally the destruction type of card. I think he's the god of evil in this deck. So literally, it could mean that you guys don't like evil people. You guys don't like people that aren't that nice. That might be why the card's reversed. You guys are like, no. People kind of know that about you. They're like, okay, so if you're going to do something weird or mean, like, part number one's going to notice that you're doing that, and they're just not going to be around you because they don't deal with people like that. Like, any type of disrespectful, reckless, rude, evil behavior, you guys are like, yeah, you're done. I don't want to talk to you. And people know, like, well, these are people's first impressions of you, you know what I mean? But you guys might not necessarily be like that. These are just first impressions. So people can kind of sense, like, when you're not feeling someone's vibe because maybe they've been a bit horrible, you're like, mm-mm. And you guys might think, but isn't that what everyone does? No, there's some people that still associate with someone even if they're not nice, you know what I mean? Even if they're low vibrational, they will still associate themselves with that person, because maybe they have some karma to feel, they have some karma to sort out with that person, or low self-esteem, right? It is what it is. But you guys, any type of like weird behavior, you're like, no. And people see that, like, I don't know, these are their first impressions. So it may be a thing where someone has like observed the situation between you and another person. So they don't have a strong relationship with you, but they've observed that someone has kind of done something like disrespectful to you, and you're like, no, you're done out here. I'm not talking to you. So they kind of know that, okay, I can't really be disrespectful towards part number one because they will just cut me off. So yeah, I can't move reckless. So people feel like they have to plan what they do before they speak to you because they feel like you're doing that, one. And two, they know that you won't tolerate that type of behavior. So if they want to be in your life, then they're going to have to think about their actions before they do them, because they don't want to do something reckless and you're like, sorry, they don't want to do something reckless and they don't realize, and they're like, oh my gosh, give me another chance, and you're like, no, you messed up the first time, you're done, we don't do second chances out here. They don't want to be hearing all that, you know what I mean? So there's that. Also, okay, so when it comes to people like passing, God rest their soul, people kind of assume that you don't like talking about things like that. They feel like it might be a subject. People feel like they have to be careful about what subjects they bring towards you. So like conversations about like death, they feel like you'd be like, why are you bringing that up? Is that necessary? And then they're like, oh my gosh. So it may not be particularly just about like passing, but subjects that are very, I wouldn't say it's taboo, but subjects that people kind of find hard to, talk about. They feel like it would be very hard to speak to you about that. So they're like, okay, it's probably best if I speak about something trivial, because part number one's going to look at me like, you're an idiot. Why would you speak about that at this place, at this time? There's a place and time to speak about something, and that wasn't it. So basically, so far, what I'm getting from the first two cards is that the impression people are kind of getting about you guys is that you're quite uptight, and, you just feel like there's a place and time to speak about certain things. Why speaking about that? Like, it's hard. Some people feel this is their first impression, so this is if they don't know you well, basically. You're kind of hard to have a really open, broad, expansive conversation with. And then we have skill. So it's literally a thing where DIY is going on in my house, guys. So bear with me. But then we have learn skill. So it's literally a thing of like yeah. So it goes back to the whole tactical thing of you guys aren't very tactical with your words. It's just very blunt, and that's what it is. That's for those of you. Well, when it comes to the emotions, when it comes to emotional intelligence, you guys don't have much skill in that. So people, that's their first impression, is that you're just going to say something that's quite hurtful, even if it's the truth, basically. I keep seeing an arrow, like maybe you guys are like air signs, you have a lot of like air energy, but so you may have it a lot in your chart, but even if you don't have it in your chart, it's just this, you just give air sign like type of vibes, which kind of means you come across like a logical person. There's a lot of mental thinking going on, and that's just literally what you represent. So yeah, and it also is this eerie vibe of like 1 minute something's fine to say and 1 minute it isn't, and there could also be indecisive energy there as well. So people might be like, as I said, it goes back to, I don't know if I should speak about this or not, because then part number one might look at me like something's wrong with me, so there's that. So people just kind of think that you're a bit judgmental. That's their first impression. Now we're gonna go to how you really are. Well, not even how you really are, because this isn't even how you guys, this may not necessarily be how you guys actually are, but this is just people's perception of you. So I do have to state that. So how people view you now, we have the moon. So when people actually like get to know you properly, they realize that you have a lot of depth to you, and that you are indeed quite an emotional person, but they feel like now, they understand now that you may put up a front of, don't mess with me, we're only going to talk about trivial stuff, we're only going to talk about stuff that don't matter to me, because I'm not going to have no deep conversation with you and you're trying to do something weird. Like, so people understand that, okay, like it's a guarded type of, we'll talk about trivial stuff. When you get to know me, I will talk about deep stuff with you, like that vibe. Some people actually, as I said, they realize that you're quite emotional. So even though what you say is can come across as quite robotic, they realize that, okay, I might have actually hurt part number one when I said this, and they don't want to seem like they're emotionally all over the place if I've hurt their feelings. So I get that's why they do that now. But it takes people a long time to realize when they've hurt your feelings, because of the way you respond when someone does hurt your feelings. But then they realize, oh, okay, cool, like that hurt part number one, I understand. I need to be careful what I say, boom, boom, boom. Um, so some of you kind of release some Pisces energy after a while. So when people get to know you, they realize, okay, oh, you're quite a spiritual person. I just thought you was just all about logic, science. Like, I didn't know that you was actually into, and that's not to say like being spiritual isn't, related to science, because I think the two can combine, but they just thought you're just very, I need proof of this, this, and this. They didn't really see that you actually have a spiritual side to you. So they're like, okay, cool. They start to understand that you're quite an, I would say, empathetic person. So even though you don't show it, your way of showing empathy is, I'm not going to say something in particular that could, make someone feel some type of way. So maybe in your perception is, if I show emotions to someone, they're going to know that I may pity them, or they're going to think that like I'm giving sympathy to them, and they may not want to feel that type of embarrassment. So I'm just going to keep it logical, icy, so that they don't feel some type of way. Whereas other people may perceive it like, oh, like you're not showing any emotion. Like, how could you do that when someone's feeling down? So the way you perceive, showing empathy is different to other people, and they realize that once they get to know you. So for example, if you don't get what I'm saying, like there could be a situation with three people. You've heard someone's going through like a bad time. Let's say like they're broke and they have no money, and it's really affecting their life. Like, so the other person that's in this third party, as in friends, they would respond to this person like, oh my gosh, do you need any money? Do you need me to give you some food? Like, that's where they'd respond, like how mother would respond. But then you might be like, oh, okay, so let's go out there and find some job applications and fill them in. And yeah, let's go to the mall. Yeah, and do that. And your friend over here is looking at you like, is that how you respond to people that's going through a hard time? And you're like, but listen to me, if I show them empathy like you've been doing, you're going to make them feel some type of way, so you don't do that. So it could be a situation where like you don't do that because you don't want to insult the person even more, but the other person may show empathy because like that's what you're supposed to do. They're going through a hard time, so it's just a matter of different perspectives. And there's certain things that you keep to yourself. So people are starting to realize that, okay, it's kind of hard to just know how you feel and know your business. Like, they have to be really close to you to find out. And then we have, also people might feel that you sacrifice a lot. So when they get to know you, they're like, oh my gosh, like, Panawan sacrifices a lot for people. Like, that's really nice. I respect them for it. I didn't know they was like that, And then we have Miracle. So Angel of Alchemy 21. And it's literally a thing where people start to realize 21, 2 plus 1 is 3. So people start to realize, oh my gosh, I can get along with you. You're actually all right. Once they get to, know you on a deeper level, they see that, you don't mind helping people. So you're quite a helpful person. You're quite okay. Because you give air sign energy, you would be okay, to socialize with a group of friends. But they can actually see that you may actually mean your friends well and people you get to know. But obviously at first it doesn't appear that way. And people think that, you're quite transformational because she's in black. So they kind of get the impression that like, okay, cool, like, you're someone that's obviously been through a lot, and that's why you just have this guarded vibe in the beginning. But I'm getting to understand that you've had to be this way to protect yourself, so I get it. And they kind of like that you're still this, emotional person that likes to help people. I wouldn't say emotional because you don't show it, but whether you deep down you may be quite emotional. So you might actually be someone that actually cares about people, but you just have to kind of show it in a different way now. You have to be selective with who you give your energy to, because not everyone deserves it. And people are like, oh, okay, cool, I get it now, when they get to know you a bit better, So there's that. Because look, her arms are crossed, so you guys are guarded. You're not playing no games. Not anyone can come in, not just anyone. So yeah, it just gives me the vibe that no one really knows your business, and you're fine with that. You're like, no one's knowing my business to use against me. I ain't got time for that. No one's using my business to put me in situations. Nope. So cool. Part number 1. I respect it. But yeah, people that get to know you after a while, they can see that, yeah, you've just been through a lot. Reason I say that is her hair is kind of like messy at the front, and so it kind of just gives me a vibe that she's just, and she looks like she's tired. Like, so you guys could be, you could just, people can kind of sense that you're just tired of certain things happening to you, so this is why you have to behave this way, and they just seen you've been through a lot. So they're more, when they get to know you, they're more patient with you, because they're like, okay, you're only behaving like this because this and this happened to you, so fair enough, innit, I'll tolerate it because I like the friendship with you. So fair enough. But yeah, pile number one. If you like reading, like, subscribe to my channel. If you like a personal reading, the details are in the description box below. But now I'm going to go to pile number two. Okay, pile number two, you are the Knight of Swords. So it's kind of similar to pile number one, like the kind of the message. So if you kind of was drawn to pile number one, you can go back and read it, only because the cards, like, I feel like the Ace of Swords and the Jack of Swords have similar meanings. So if you're just like, I don't know, then obviously the both of them might apply to you, so fair enough. But if you're like, no, I only was looking at pile number two, no one was looking at pile number one, then fair enough, cool. Let me not do that to you. So it's just, you come across as quite, how you have youthful energy. You're like, hey, like, you seem like, and don't take offense, but you seem like a 6-year-old that will just talk to anyone, like, hey, how are you? You okay? You're right. And is giving off a very kind energy. But then people might feel like is a bit naive. So you come across as quite naive. These are first impressions, because it's like, how can you say hi to everyone? How can you open up to everyone like that? Like, don't you have any boundaries? So yeah, because you kind of have this naive energy, people just kind of think like that. Why would you do that? Like, not everyone should be able to talk to you, like, no. So there's that. So that's kind of the downside. Even people that mean well for you, they're kind of like, no babe, that is not it. It's not everyone you should be speaking to and everyone you should be trusting. Some of you actually trust people a bit too easily, and then they hurt your feelings, and then people around you are like, I don't know why you went with that person and spoke to them, because that was dumb. So yeah, I'm so sorry to hurt you guys' feelings. Remember, this may not necessarily be how you are, but this is the impressions that you're giving people, basically. So there's that. Anyways, going back to the youthful energy, you can speak about a lot of trivial things, like things that just don't have much depth. You're like, yeah. And people, so when it comes to conversations, like, it's not hard to have a conversation with you. So when it comes to deep conversations, I don't know. I don't see that. But when it comes to like light stuff, very easy to have a conversation with you, like, literally. Some of you may be like jokesters, so some people might feel like, you know, you like to joke around a lot. You might be quite witty. But sorry guys, you might hear my stomach. I'm gonna eat after this, but yeah, like, you might be quite witty, and that's how people perceive you. You like to, when you speak, is quite funny, so you guys might be quite hilarious. You might be so it's not that you're jokesters, but just the way you speak in general might be quite funny. Because you know, there's some people when they speak, you're like, okay, cool, and there's some people when you speak, you can't help but laugh at every sentence, because wow, that was actually funny, that was hilarious. And then you might be like, you might actually be dead serious, like, you might be like, this so and so, and people are like, ha ha ha, oh my gosh, so funny. And then you're like, I wasn't joking, I was very serious, I was so serious, this is not a joke. And they're like, and then they laugh even more, and then you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna stop talking, because obviously everything I'm saying is a joke. Like, and or you guys are just like, I didn't realize it was that funny, but okay, you know. So you're actually quite funny without even trying, even when you're talking about like regular stuff. So there's that. But then people might feel like you don't really understand your worth as well, because this is the Jack. He's not the king, he's not the queen, he's the Jack. So it's literally a thing of where, like, people feel like you should kind of view yourself more highly than you do. And you guys might feel like, excuse me, I am the empress, I'm the emperor. Yeah, I view myself very highly. But people, the first impressions people get, like, they don't think that you know that. They think that, you know, you should view yourself higher, basically. And some of you, they may even view it like, maybe you're trying to be funny so that, you know, you're appreciated when you don't have to do that. That was rude. But yeah, literally. Anyways, let's get more information on how what are people's first impressions of you. So we have the 7 of Wands, and the Taurus renewal card, but it is reversed. So okay, yeah, it goes back to boundaries, because the Seven of Wands is, I remember in the original deck, is someone defending themselves, and this is reversed. So it's kind of like people are like, babe, pile number two, where is your boundaries? Where's your boundaries? Do you have any? So again, now I'm gonna come back to that. No boundaries, basically. That's what they assume. But I just personally, what I'm kind of picking up energy wise is like, you guys don't want to be a product of what you've been through. You don't want to be that person that's like, just because I've been through this, that I'm behaving in some toxic way. You're like, I don't care for toxicity. Cool, this happened in the past, but I'm just going to be a very, positive, vibrant person. Why do I have to be this person that's like, oh no, you're doing something weird? Like, why do I have to be like that? Why can't I just renew myself? See, that's so funny because, anyway, why can't I just renew myself and be like, okay, cool, let me just move forward. I remember what happened to me. I know not to get in them situations, but I'm going to give everyone a fair try in it. If they mess up, then cool, but I'm not going to go around giving everyone burdens and horrible energy just because someone else did me something bad. Like, no. So I think that's what it really is. But obviously, because people don't know you yet, it's just like, is this person all right? Like, why are they being so friendly? So, and then this is another thing. People may be very suspicious of your friendliness. So they're just like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Something's not right. Like, that's what some people may feel. Because, not everyone in this world is friendly. So when you come across and you're a very friendly person, they're just like, so when you come around, people just kind of like, what's really going on here? Because that don't make sense. You don't know me from nowhere. Why are you being so friendly? So also, some people feel like they can take advantage of you. Oh, this is where the jokester comes in, because they feel like, you're just very, cool. Like, you're very just chill. People are like, yes, look at these, but you're quite, I wouldn't say vulnerable, but a lot of bad mind people, you see this bad mind person here, like, they're waiting to do something weird, because they're like, oh yes, look at this idiot. I can basically take the mickey. And I'm not calling you guys idiots. I'm showing you that some people think you're an idiot just because you're very friendly. So they're like, yeah, look at this idiot. Like, I'm actually going to try and ruin their life. I'm going to do something horrible because why not? I obviously can. But we haven't got to how they view you now. So this is the first impressions. This doesn't mean that they can do that, innit? So there's that. So people are just observing you. They observe you. And I feel like, because his eyes are green, and that kind of reminds me of like jealousy. So you can see, is like, they're just jealous because obviously they're just bad mind and not nice. And you're just like, yes, like this little boy living your best life. Like, what? And you're youthful, and they're just this old, crusty Asian person that's just like, why are they so happy? I need to just ruin their life and make them like me, because why can they be happy and I can't? Like that nasty, and they're like, well, you need to go away with that. We don't like that around here. Just not yucky. I need to burn some incense after this reading because this is nasty. But yeah, like, literally, yeah, people think you have no boundaries, so they feel like they can take the mickey out of you. Like, that's their first impressions. But for those of you that actually mean you well, they're scared for you. Like, they're scared that you'll be in this predicament. Like, oh my gosh, you're too nice. You're going to end up being around some horrible people, and they might take the mickey out of you. Like, so there's that set of people that are viewing you this type of way. But anyways, as I said, people view you quite fun, because this boy appears quite fun to me. People feel like you're up for adventure, like you'll do new stuff, you're not scared to try new things. But yeah, I just feel like, I know for a lot of you, first impressions, even on the first impressions, I feel like a lot of people are jealous of you, and that's really sad. So this pile, big jealous energy, and I'm only on the second card, so that's just really not nice. But yeah, it's giving. That means it's just your vibe. So even if like you guys may be not doing that much like socially or reputation wise, just your energy itself, people don't like it. It's like, ugh, why are you so happy? Don't even. Anyways, let's just move on, because I'm gonna get annoyed. Okay, I'm going to get annoyed. Anyway, there's a lot of green on this card. So I just feel like people just assume that you're very abundant as well. Because, okay, you being happy means that you probably get everything you want. And these are what some people that aren't that intelligent think. Like, oh, because you're happy and you're doing, and you're being light, that basically you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth. And that's why, like, and that may not be the case. Some of you may have been struggling growing up. But you're still like, okay, just because I struggle don't mean I need to be horrible. So yeah, like a lot of you, pound number two, a lot of you have some weird people around you. Sorry, I said it. And this is why I mentioned this at this reading. This is why I mentioned what I mentioned in my motivational speak. If you didn't hear that bit, you can go back onto it. I put it in the timestamps, yeah. But you guys, maybe that speech in the beginning was for you guys, because I'm telling you, you guys have some haters, and I just feel that. And you know what's weird? I can't even tell who they are. I can't tell you if it's a friend. I can't tell you if it's a family member. I can't tell you if it's a what are they called, partner. I can't tell you, because it's like nearly a lot of people you're around, they're just this person, and it's like these low vibrational, negative, pessimistic people, and they don't like that you're just youthful like this and lively. Like, it's just so sad. Then we have Taurus renewal. So like, some people assume that I want to explain something to you. This is Taurus and Isis, right? Isis, I think she gave life to Taurus again. If you guys don't know listen, I swear, don't look at my nails. I'm so embarrassed. But I had to do this reading. Okay, I'll fix them. Don't judge me. My nails don't normally look like that, guys. Can I just say? Okay, so anyways, the point is, so people feel like, okay, cool, I can be in a strong relationship with this person. So it doesn't have to be a romantic one, but it could be a friendship one. Like, I can build a strong bond with this person and make them do what I say. And they'll always get me out of problems. So it's like you're Isis and they're Taurus. Like, they'll always get me out of problems because they're so lively. It's like people want to just suck the joy and life out of you. And it's like, babe, like, that's really sad. But they just think, oh, because you're so happy, you're so la-di-da, la-la-la, la-la-la. Like, just because you're just all like that, they feel like, okay, cool, I'll just suck the life out of Isis because I'm Taurus. And that's not actually, so this bit I'm saying, that's not actually how the story went, but I'm just going to flip it in your situation, right? Your Isis, they're Taurus, that I'm going to just like take the life out of them, and I'm going to be like, oh, you need to help me, and then they'll help me, and then I can use them, and yeah, they'll have life anyways. That's how they are, but I need some. They just want to take from you. Like, that's their first impressions, that they can just take, and that's just really sad. And I believe, who has the wings? Is it Taurus or Isis? It doesn't matter. It's like people just want to use you. They don't want to leave you alone. Like, as soon as they see you, they're like, yes, we need to be together. We need to be friends. I need to be with you all the time. Like, and for some of you, it may not even be like we need to be friends, but I basically need to be up your bum. Yes, I said it. I need to be with you all the time to see what you're doing and to have your happy energy, because I'm just miserable. Like, that's literally what it is. It's like, babe, get a life. Get a life. Get a life. Go find something to do that you like. Like, I'm just getting so upset for you guys. I don't like this. And there's a lot of purple energy here. So purple in this card and purple in this card. So it's literally this thing where people can see that even though you're very lively and you're very, and you're very, it's just like, people know you. It's like they feel like you put on an act of, I don't know what's going on, but you know what's going on. And that annoys them even more, because they're like, this girl or this guy is really acting like they're a dunce, but when I'm trying to do something weird, they know, but they're still going to act like a dunce. Like, you're just annoying them. Now, you know why as well, part number 2? You're not falling for traps. Oh, I knew it was going to start to get juicy. So you guys aren't falling for traps. So these people actually want you to be like them, just there and just upset. And you're just like, I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do. Like, you're trying to get me mad. You're trying to get me angry. You want me to look crazy in front of all these people. I'm not doing it. I'm still this person, yeah? I'm still this jokester person. You're not going to do that to me, babe. You're not going to ruin my vibe, because I'm a vibe. And I'm a vibe because it's the fact. I'm a vibe because This is why so much people want to talk to me, because this is why I'm approachable, because I'm a vibe. And you don't like it because not much people want to speak to you because you're unapproachable. Like, literally. You got jealousy in the first impression. Part number 2, you're really saying it. You're really saying it. You're doing a lot. I can't lie. You're doing a lot. And you know what the maddest thing is? It's just naturally, that's just naturally how you are. You're not even trying. Like, it's crazy. Then we have the 9 of Cups as to how they view you now after they get to know you properly. 9 of Cups reversed. And then we have the Ghost of Pumpkin Patch. Count your blessings. Let me tell you lot right now what this means, yeah? Let me tell you lot right now. Basically, you got options. You got options. What this means is, like, people see that you're just... Okay, just what's my head. Everyone likes you guys. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Do you know how lovable you are? I feel like people talk about you so highly when you're not around. And this gets on some people's nerves. Like, some people... So let's talk about, like, the positive people, because I've just been speaking about negative people, and I didn't really want to speak about that. Like, obviously I did in the motivational speak, but actually in these piles, I actually wanted to see some good energy. But because you guys have such good energy, you're just attracting all these horrible people. And I'm sorry, like, for part number 1, I even said, like, there's some good people that think that. But guys, this is just disgusting. I can't lie. And it's not even your fault. It's not even your fault. It's just because of the way you are. But, like, okay, I can't even... That first impressions thing... For the people that actually have good intention in your life, they can see that there's just horrible people around you because you're just a very nice, generous person, and that's just what it is. But when we move to how people view you now, yeah, you have a lot of options. This could be with lovers, so you guys actually look beautiful. I said it. You do. And people are like, okay, because you're so beautiful, this is why you have a lot of people that want to speak to you. And some of you, it's not just the beauty, but because of the personality, you have a lot of people that want to speak to you too. Like, a lot of people that are, oh my gosh, like, let's be together. And then it was kind of like, I'll think about it, because you're only cup number 3. I still need to consider cup number 8. Okay, you're just one of the cups. Okay, don't think I don't have options. So people are like, okay, you have options, but it's reversed. I'm gonna explain why it's reversed. People are like, you have a lot of options, so much lovers, you know, so much love options. And I just feel like some people don't like this. When they start to get to know you, they're like, it just makes them not... You see people that came in your life to do some weird stuff, like, or people's first impressions, like, when they get to know you even more, they find out that you're even more abundant than you've made out. So they're just like... And it's like, babe, like, why are you so... If you changed your dirty vibe, your nasty, disgusting vibe, then maybe you would attract people. That part number 2 attracts people, innit? So, okay. Anyways, the point is, this is in terms of lovers. This is in terms of opportunities as well. People always want to work with you guys. People want to actually spend time with you guys. You're just easy to get along with. And some people don't like this. They're like, okay. And the people that obviously do view you... that aren't, it's not even do view you highly, because even these people that don't like you view you highly, but is for people that actually don't have any, like, malice towards you. They see that, yeah, you're a very abundant person, and they start to realize that you could choose any route in life. You have a lot of options, and I feel like they're very excited for you, because they actually want to see, oh my gosh, like, what are you actually going to choose in the end? What are you actually going to plan to do? Like, they're just kind of like, ooh, so exciting, so happy for pile number 2, you know. But then the ones that don't like you, they're just like, tramp, why do they get everything and I don't? Okay, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't get it. It's just crazy. And then we have okay, cool. Some of you have exes that really want to be with you again, and this is what people start to understand when they start to get to know you. They're like, oh my gosh, you have exes, I want to speak to you again. Yeah, my ex is running away from me. You know, people are like, how you have so much people? New people want you, old people want you, people, you know, that you're juggling still want to be with you, even though they found out you're juggling them. You guys are the ish, part number 2. You're the ish. Can I just say, you're the ish. Then we have Ghost of Pumpkin Patch, count your blessings. So blessings on blessings. Blessings on blessings. Blessings. I am blessed. What? I am blessed every day. You guys are just blessed. Like, you just get options, options, options. And that's why it says count your blessings. Because see this girl, look at her eyes. She's been through a lot. You guys have cried. You guys have been depressed. You guys have been dragged through the mud, right? I even think people was chatting you lot. I feel like people have been talking about you guys, yeah? Like, to the point where you could have been someone horrible. And you're just like, no, babe, I'm still going to be this pure person. Because this fairy, she gives me, well, she's a ghost. So let me say a ghost. This ghost, like, it seems like she's been through a lot. But because, like, everything about her is just like, she has blonde hair, but it's like bleach blonde. And, like, the dress is white and it's a bit dirty, but it's just a whole theme of just white in it. And white to me it kind of represents, like, purity, you know, the color. So it's literally like I could go through 101 things, but I'm still going to be a nice person. You guys might have white auras. I'm still going to be a nice person. I'm still going to look at the world as a nice place, because not everyone is like these people that have done something horrible to me. Like, I refuse. And I respect that about you guys. And then we have 1 on the card. You know why it's number 1? Because it's new beginnings. You guys get new beginnings all the time as well. You view things in a nice, positive way. And this is why people are so hateful towards you. Because you're like, yeah, you know, you slept with my man, you know. Yeah, you know, you ruined my wedding, you know. But I can get married tomorrow or the next week. It's fine, you know. Yeah, you know, you tried to ruin my graduation, but I still graduated, so it is what it is. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you abandoned me when I was a child, but, you know, that's your business. That's nothing to do with me. I'm still a nice human after that. Like, it's crazy. All these horrible things. And people are just starting to realize, wow, you're just really this genuine person. Like, and some people really dislike you for it. And some people are amazed that you're like that. So if you guys really like, subscribe to my channel. If you like a personal reading, details are in the description box below. But now I'm going to go to pile number 3. Whoa. Let me just burn some incense, because I just can't do this today. Because pile number 2, I'm not going to lie, pile number 2's one was very heavy. Heavy. It was really heavy. It was too much. Like, I basically stopped burning sage, like, every reading, because apparently when you burn sage after every reading, you're taking the energy away from the cards, apparently. So I saw it on TikTok, and it was actually like a spiritualist talking about it. And they were like, so when you kind of want to clear the energy, it's kind of best to kind of use incense, because it's not as strong as sage. And I was like, so if you guys wondering, like, girl, you used to burn sage all those my day ones would know. Like, oh my gosh, like, you used to burn sage all the time. Like, why are you burning incense now? That's why, basically. I don't want to take the energy away, but I still want to clear any past energy or past cards, basically. It's hard work being a reader, guys, because you think it just stops at reading. Like, everyday life, I'm picking up some weird energy, some off energy, like, and then your whole life basically becomes a reading. And then when you're trying to explain yourself to people are like, you're doing too much, until it actually happens. And then they're like, oh my gosh, you was right. Yes, I was right. I'm a reader. What are you talking about? I saw it, so it's going to happen. No? Like, come on. Anyways, I just can't do this. It's too much. We have the 6. I still have energy for you, panel 3. We have the 6 of Cups reversed. So first impressions literally is, you guys come across, you're quite... It seems like you guys don't really care about family or friends, particularly family. Like, you guys are just like, I don't care. So some people kind of feel like, you know, I never really saw you in the family group portrait. I never saw you in this. This is for some people. I'm going to read different situations. For some of you, it's like you're never in family pictures. You're never where the family is. It's very rare. It's very occasional. And then people just kind of like, see, do you not care about your family? Like, what are you doing? You know? And you're probably like, first of all, I'm all about family. How dare you? But because like you're not kind of doing the traditional things that families do together, they're just kind of like, that's a bit. So you're not family oriented. So that's the first impression. Some of you may not be necessarily family, but even with friends, like sometimes you're around them, sometimes you're not. And then it's just like, so do you not really care about connections with people? So some of you may come across as loners, like you're just to yourself. And people are just kind of like, is everything okay? And you guys are kind of like, I'm not a loner. I just have time for myself, and then like I go socialize with people. It's not every day 24/7. I have no life, socialize with people. What? I understand myself. I can be by myself. You know, that's, I get it. Part number 3. But some people just view it like you're just isolating yourself from the whole world and what is going on. So loner vibes, not caring about friends and family vibes, and you know, well, not prioritizing them, I should say. And yeah. Some people think like you don't really care about people in your past. So when people are like, oh my gosh, do you have any friends from school? And you might be someone that's like, no, I don't talk to them. I ain't got time for that. And then people are like, are you serious? I have friends from, you know, year 5. I have friends from primary school. I have friends from, I guess in other countries that would be elementary school. I have friends from, you know, like proper school years. No, okay, I can't say year because this is England. So those of you that are England, you know year 5 is when you're around, like, I don't know, say 5 or 6? That's year 1. 6 or 7, I think is, no, 6 or 7 is year 2. So year 5, anyway, it gets complicated. But anyway, the point is, primary school, I have friends from primary school. Why don't you have friends from primary school, pound number 3? Why do you have friends from elementary school? And then you're just kind of like, do I have to have friends from elementary school? What the hell? No, I don't. Okay, what is wrong with that? But literally, like, so when it comes to connections, my whole point is, when it comes to connections with people, yeah, you're just not very much there. So people are like, what is going on with that? Are you not, do you not care about people? You know, literally. Anyways, some people might assume that you're not very harmonious because we have the number 6 here, and I believe that's got to do with harmony. And like they feel like you're someone that would just purposely, if everyone wants to watch like a horror movie, you're the one person that's gonna say like, I want to watch comedy. And everyone's like, okay, but comedy's not the vibe right now. We're actually trying to watch a horror, like it's the perfect time. And you're like, no, comedy. We're watching comedy or I'm going home. And people are like, so you can't compromise, like, and you're like, no, I can't, because I'm not sitting here watching no horror, and I don't want to watch no horror. And then everyone's like, okay, then we'll watch a comedy then. And you're like, thank you. Thanks. That's what I want to do. And then everyone's like literally, that's the first impression, guys. So you kind of seem a bit like stubborn in some situations. Like you're not trying to be harmonious sometimes. Like there's a bit of an issue there. Like that's a first impression. Some of you might not be looking at that. Some of you are kind of like, well, why am I going to put myself in a situation where I feel uncomfortable? I get it. But then some people kind of view that like, you're not being harmonious. Why are you behaving like that, basically? So there's that. Cool. Anyways, let's get to more information as to like people's first impressions of you. So we have Hypnosleep reversed. And we have 7 of Cups reversed. No, it was upright. Tell a lie. It was upright. So it's just coming across like you guys just come across as bored. You see, because he was bored, okay? You guys come across as bored, and so when people are about to talk to you, they're kind of scared you're just gonna like switch off after they say 2 words. Some of you, I don't think it's that you're not intelligent or anything, but it's that like you're not interested in having a conversation with them. So they're like, oh my gosh, so did you see what was on this channel the other day? And you're kind of like, yeah. Oh, okay, so did you like it? Yeah, I did. And then people kind of feel like when they're talking to you, you're like, where is the door? because I do not want to. And some of you may actually have like social anxiety, so fair enough, I get it. But some people, they may not know that straight away. So it's kind of like, is this person trying to avoid speaking to me? Like, so it just kind of seems like you're just not interested in having a conversation with them. Or when people are talking, your face is very blank, like, and the people are kind of like, are you even processing what I'm saying? Do you even care to process what I'm saying? So there's that. Part number 3, this is very harsh, but yeah, it's kind of sad, these first impressions. But obviously later on we're going to get to how they view you in the how they view you now. So this is when people don't really know you. This is the impression you've given off, unfortunately. Then we have the 7 of Cups. So like people feel like you just have a lot of options and you just don't. This one's going to be a bit hard to swallow. So some people feel like you have a lot of options, but you are being lazy. You're not trying to actually do something. Now, I know people don't like being called lazy. Cool. But these are first thing. I gotta be real on this channel. So some people kind of like, what are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing? You know, you have all these options and you don't want to, you don't want to do any. Like, so what do? Do you just eat, sleep and poo? Is that what you do? Like, and it's really sad because like some of you may actually be doing stuff what people just don't know, right? But it comes across like, because you come across bored, people just feel like, do you not care about anything, basically? And that is really sad, guys. I'm so sorry. Also, some of you may have like a lot of like partners that want you to, but you guys, it's like you're not interested in them. So some people may actually really like you, like to actually try and date you, but they're kind of scared to approach you because they feel like you're going to be like, how dare you even try and speak to me? You do not look as great as my other options. You're not even, personality-wise, you're not even as great as them. So why would I talk to you? And like, it's just like you're constantly bored. And so for some of you, it's that you're constantly bored, and for some of you, people just think you're just flat out boring, basically, because you don't really speak about anything. Some of you, like maybe you just don't like having deep conversation with people you don't really know. But some people are like, you have no type of deep conversation. Like, are you just slow? So for some people, you come across as quite slow. I'm so sorry, but yeah. And I don't get the feeling that you guys are, but first impressions in it is what it is. Then we have hypnosleep reverse. So some people feel like, you know, oh, this one's gonna hurt some of you. It's gonna hurt some of you. I didn't mean to hurt anyone on this channel. So it's kind of like some of you are like maybe always on your phone. You're always on your phone, kind of doing something that's just irrelevant to life, like kind of do something that doesn't really, you know, it's not really fulfilling. And people can kind of see this and they're kind of like, so you're going to sit there and do that, and you can do that, but you can't do this. But you can't do something that's actually, you know, going to help you, going to benefit you. So they feel like you don't get sleep because of that. I don't know, I just saw technology in there. I don't know why, but it's like, you're not getting sleep because of that. And it's like, you'd rather spend it's kind of like, you know, those people that kind of like, you're coming across as, you know, those people that like go on social media and they're just like scrolling, or they're just like going on, I'm not going to say any platform names because my video is not getting taken down, but yeah, like you're just going on different social media apps, and like people can see that you're on there, but they're kind of like, so you can do that, but you can't put your energy to do this, that type of thing. And as I said, some of you may actually be doing stuff and people don't know, but first impressions. And then obviously we have sleep. So some of you just come across like you don't get much sleep. So some of you like as soon as you're speaking to someone can look at you and be like, you look tired. You look mash up. You need to find your bed, because I don't know how you're functioning. So some people feel like you don't get enough sleep. And there's another thing, it could just also be that people just constantly sleep on you. Like they're not actually, like, they don't concentrate on what you're doing because you're not showing them that you're doing anything. So they're like, I'll just focus on this person or do this thing, because pile number 3, like, I don't know. So yeah. This is really sad, guys. I didn't mean for this reading to turn out like this, but yeah. You guys might be very quiet. People when people come across you, they're like, okay, you're very quiet. Yeah, okay, that makes sense only because his fingers is on like his lips, so which is giving me shh. So like, you guys are just quiet, but it's like quiet in a bad way because the card's reversed. Like it comes across like, it's safe to talk, right? And then you're like, it's not safe to talk. I'm not saying that, and they're just people like, okay, but do you know what? I don't like what's being said here. Like, and even Pete, and you know what's sad? This even kind of represents people that speak to you, and they actually like have good intentions. I don't even see any bad intentions here. This is literally just generally the vibe you give off. Even if people have good intentions for you, they do kind of look at you like kind of like, why aren't you doing anything constructive? Like, why? Well, if it's not actually anything that you're doing, then it just refers to, why don't you care to have a stronger connection with me? Like, why are you so bored? Like, what's going on? Like, and then some people might feel like I'm doing everything to entertain you and please you, but you're just not satisfied. So there's that. So for some, again, it's just like boredom. They feel like you're very bored with life and not trying to do nothing. And then some people feel like you're just bored with people in general. Like, so you can kind of find out which one you resonate with. Okay, anyways, we're going to go into how they view you now. And we have the Queen of Cups. So how they view you now, when they seriously get to know you, they see that you're actually a very caring person, like so loving and caring. And and I think it's a big shock because it went from, I don't care about no one and nothing, to I really, really, really care. And I feel like this is actually how you guys are. You guys actually have Queen of Cups energy of, I care. I care. Why does everyone assume I don't care? I probably care the most out of everyone here. Just because I don't pull up to family events, or I didn't go to this person's birthday, or I didn't, like, so that means I don't care. Because I'm not chilling with my friends 24/7. That means I don't care. Like, so it's literally a thing where like people might even say to you like, oh, I thought you didn't care about that, and you're like, what? I do care. I'm not gonna lie. You come off nonchalant, so why would anyone think you care? You're like, I just think it's logical sense for me to care about that. And then they're like, yeah, you say that, but emotion-wise, like, you see your face, it's not giving you care. So how was anyone supposed to know? So you may be in a lot of, like, problems with people where, you may come across like you didn't care about something. And then there's a big argument because you're like, I did care, I do care. And then people are like, you never cared once. Why are you lying? So there's that. That's really sad. But yeah, that's really sad. Some of people even come to find out you're a mother, so I don't know what that's got to do with anything, but people are kind of like, people kind of assume that you don't have a family. When I say you don't have a family, like you didn't make your own. And then they're like, oh my gosh, you're a mom? I didn't even know. Like, that's crazy. Not crazy isn't bad or nothing, but crazy isn't like, I didn't even get an indication. You wasn't even speaking about no children. Like, how was anyone supposed to know? So there's that. Some people might find out you have a really strong relationship with your mother. So they're like, okay, it's just motherly vibes. And it could just be that you, in general, you're actually quite motherly. Even if like you're a guy watching this, like, it turns out that you're a very nurturing type of guy, you know what I mean? So it's like, you're very motherly and people didn't expect that. They're like, oh, because as I said, they assumed you didn't care. So there's that. And we have Snow Angel, the signs are with you already. Okay, this is where this is where they have their aha moment. Okay, makes sense. You see this girl's face, she's like, I know what you're up to. And you think I don't know, but I know. And I'm watching you. Because I don't know who you think you're fooling. And that's the energy that people, they realize, oh, so it's not like you're disinterested. You're observing people to see if they're doing any weird stuff. Cool. Like, and some of you may not actively be doing that, but then it's kind of like, you're kind of like, you're very protective of your energy of, okay, basically, like, it's kind of similar to number one in a sense. It's kind of like, you're not going to know how caring and loving I am until until I see that you're not a threat or anything, that there's no situation there. And it says the signs are with you already. So people are like, oh, that's why you did this, because that person was moving weird and you noticed, you realized, but then you gave a whole face of, I don't even know what's going on, or I don't really care, because you don't want to tell them any information so that they can use against you. I got it. You know, people start to do the, oh my gosh, 1 plus 1 is equaling 2 and 5 plus 5 is equaling 10. It makes sense, because you see before, it was all 4 plus 2 was equaling 12, and they were just kind of like, that doesn't make sense. Why is pound number 3 acting like that? And then they're like, okay, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Makes sense. And they're like, you know what, yeah, pound number 3 is kind of a mastermind. I didn't think about that. And it's kind of like, you guys, because you guys have such mothering, caring, loving energy, and you actually care. You know, number 4 is here because that kind of represents stability. Maybe you guys may be Cancers. I don't know, because we have sleep hypnosis as well. That's kind of Cancer, Pisces energy. Or you could just be, and this is all cups energy, kind of like, it's all water signs. You be any type of water sign. You might have a lot in your chart, but it's literally this vibe of like, I'm only close to people that I have stability with. That's what 4 represents. Yeah, stability. I'm the pillars of my own house, my own body, my own soul, and like for other people, I'm the person that they usually depend on, you know, for emotional support at least. So what you're not gonna do is come into my life and think you can create havoc, because you're not knocking over my pillars, like not mine. So it's kind of like, I'm a strong, stable person. You're not gonna take the mickey, and once I get to know you, then your family, your friend, know your family. Your co-worker that I'm really close to, know your family now. Oh, you're I don't know, you're my boyfriend, no, you're my husband now. You know, like, that's just how you think. You're like, as soon as I'm with someone, like, I'm with them for life. That's my friend, that's my partner, that's my ride or die. That's how you think, you know, and that's perfectly fine. But that people understand, okay, that's why you have to kind of be like that, because not everyone deserves that energy, and it's true. Not everyone does deserve that energy, pound number 3. But if you like this reading, subscribe to my channel. If you like a personal reading, the details are in the description box below. But I'm going to go now. Bye, guys.